Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. This is going to be a disaster. But I am so here for it. Let me introduce our first Zerg player, the Canadian in the top left. She is Scarlett. And up against the most dangerous, slimy, creepy Zerg that has ever Zerged. The final boss. It is Dark. I know this is not a short game or series. I don't know what happens, but I saw these two together, and it doesn't end quickly. So, against anyone in the later game, I'm gonna favor Dark. But put your likes and subscribes together. Get your popcorn and your pizza rolls, because we could be here at least a little while. Longer than your average Zerg versus Zerg, which is why I jumped. I sprinted. Well, I didn't literally do either of those things. That's very rare. My eyebrows raised and I blew air out of my nose slightly when I saw this opportunity. And thank you for sharing it with me. But I was saying, Dark in the late game, second to none. His command of the Zerg against anything is unrivaled. He's run circles, sometimes literally with their own units against Terrans and Protoss. But it is very rare we see a Zerg versus Zerg extend to that length. And Scarlett historically has been well known for that kind of... I feel like it's kind of reining in, kind of keeping control of the situation. You really can't meticulously control infestors and vipers and even like mass queen in the same way you can say ghosts from Terran. It just is kind of wrangling these fragile yet hyper effective Zerg units. I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to start things off with Zerglings. Yeah, not the least bit of a surprise here as Dark kicks off a round of Zergling production, several rounds even, as currently 20 lings on the map. Scarlett finished her main nest and has plenty to match. The dancing of death begins. Queens for Scarlett, gonna be that defensive backstop that helps deal with the Banes before they get a little bit too close. Scarlett, oh, it's a bit of a mess. Awkwardly, wow, one Bane got in. Just one, but if that number had been twice as much, could have been devastating. It takes two Banelings to kill one Baneling. So that kind of dynamic is what makes things so complicated in the early game, yet very simple, as the Zerglings all have to pull back, at least the majority of them. So Dark behind this, not intent on ending the game, but instead gonna get some drones, realizing Scarlett more than capable of dealing with the early Ling Bane. We're going to transition into what some might call a macro game. Usually at this level of Zerg versus Zerg, players don't expect to win outright with the Ling Bane. It's just for posturing, as Zerg don't have too much in the way of defensive tools that aren't building the same units with a little bit higher economy. And that's exactly what Scarlett has done. She's built a very similar... Ooh, but Dark kind of slips in. The Baneling trades are not going well for Scarlett. Oh, gets that last Bane. Scarlett. Some miss micro there for sure, as now Dark has managed to draw. He drew out all the Baneling hits. Scarlett loses a few drones, and oh my god! Dark comes in from the top rope. 9 more drones. There was no Overlord spotting this on the minimap. And now that Spire looking a little bit risky here, as going for the Mutas on an even economy when you have a good defensive setup is fine. Going for Mutas when you're down in drones and committing to a roach attack, this is very risky for Scarlett. But she has to pretend like roaches are the direction. She has to pretend like, I'm just going roaches, I'm getting roach speed, all these fancy things. But the Mutalisks, on the other hand, expensive and take a lot of time to come online, but they can just win you the game outright if your opponent is unprepared. I think Dark gonna be a little suspicious. They already have more drones than I expected to see in early game CVZ. But yeah, screw that Baneling nest. What Why? No, the queen could get it. I have no idea. I actually have no idea why he did that. The ritual sacrifice of the baneling nest. I guess it wasn't even walling off the queens. Yeah, there was no real practical... No, who knows why Dark does anything he does? I am, like, 70% sure that was a misclick. But the other 30, like, there's a still very high percentage. Well, I mean, banelings... No, banelings are still going to be important as time goes on, but... Scarlett, in fact, getting her own. The Hydralisk Den is on the way. Dark has spotted the Spire, realizes the mutas are coming up. Plenty of queens. I guess it's just to reduce the choke. You know what? Dark does as Dark do, as the prophecy goes. DDA-DD. Dad. Ooh. All right. Well, we learned some new... Moving on. Scarlett, with the mutas so far, strongly inconveniencing several overlords. And that's about it. As Dark had plenty of time with that Overseer. In order to prepare, Spore Crawlers do some incredible damage if they ever get any hits off on the mutas. A bonus directly to Biological Air, which is very specific, as only one race has Biological Air. That's kind of a holdover from Heart of the Swarm when Mutiling Bane was the menace that we almost never got away from. But here in Legacy of the Void, mutas have a lot more counters, especially with the high economy you start out with. I keep saying like Heart of the Swarm a few years ago. Nope, Heart of the Swarm 8 years ago now. If you don't feel old yet, don't hurt your back leaning over to hit that like and subscribe. Infestation Pit, Lurker Den, Tunneling Claws, Burrow, all telling a very underhanded story here for Dark, as he's going to circumvent the air units by going underground. Whereas Scarlett, sitting with 25 Mutalisks, more than enough to make a big dent in whatever they're targeting. And if without any sort of spellcasters, what is Scarlett gonna Bane drop on the Hydras and try to bust it? Oh my god. And who said ZVZ was boring? I think the intent here is to use Banelings to drop on the Hydras and reduce the critical mass so low that the mutas can just win the day. Of course, Banelings quite good against static defense. Not so good against queens, but you add enough of them. +2 melee just started. That's not going to be a factor. We got the Hive. Where are those Dropper Lords? Here they are. Muta's still working around, looking for an opportunity. Dark's Hive is already online. Alright, take it back. Wait, what? I just assumed it was, but he actually started it quite late. I'm not sure if there was a contaminant. I don't think so. Anyways, Burrow Move Roaches. The Dropper Lords are kind of hanging out. Oh my god, does she see it? I think she did. It's so obvious. This is Scarlett's vision right now. Those Overlords giving almost... Yeah, she does. Oh, those aren't sandworms. Even worse. Roaches. Oh no, but on the left side as well, Dark is everywhere! The full Dark experience. Left side, 8 drones down. Bind time for Vipers on the way. The muta's trying to hunt down the Roaches, which is the most accurate real-life cosplay of Roaches I've ever seen. Dark truly knows how to have units live up to their name. 4 Dropper Lords of Zerglings into the main base. Dark does notice, has relatively limited units. There are some lurkers around. Those Burrow Move Roaches still very annoying to hunt down, even with the mutas, as they regenerate extra quick underground. A single lurker. And the Vipers are spotted here. So, Scarlett not going to find much in the main besides knowledge that, oh my god, we're going Ultralisks. So, you got to mix it up. The Vipers, a quite devastating counter to the mutas. But Ultras, and Dark is building he's building a wall. It's ZVZ. Oh my. This is already one of my favorite games. A mirror matchup, but almost none of the same units. In fact, it's almost, they're both playing It's even more split than, like, Bio versus Mech. It's Lurker, Hydra, Viper, turtling up with Queens in support, and Bromu Roaches up against Ultra, Ling, Bane, and Dropper Lords. Scarlett is gonna try to batter down the Dark Fortress, whereas Dark tries to slip out with the Roaches and do some sort of damage, slow things down. Scarlett has a huge amount of money in the bank. She's got 2,000, plus 3 flyer attack. I can't remember the last time I saw that, especially not in a ZVZ. There is no detect. A single lurker will eventually work through this. Some damage can be done, but there is no one who knows how to... There's no player who quite hardens their shell, their carapace, quite like Dark. Dark just... Oh my god, Parasitic Bomb. Scarlett needs to... It doesn't stack, which means, well... so, awkwardly, it shouldn't kill too many, because it doesn't actually stack, and with the healing of Mutas, it does slightly less than their HP. But another Parasitic Bomb could devastate the entire flock. 24 drones died throughout all this. I don't know how many were in the main. It doesn't seem to matter, because Dark is still at 74. I don't think we're counting the ones that turned into Spore Crawlers, either. Ultralisks versus Lurkers with Viper support. Overall, I mean, Dark has the right units to stay alive. And Scarlett has the rest of the map to try to break him. This is kind of exactly what I expected going into this, but I dared not dream. I thought maybe we'll just get Roach Wars for however long. But no! Ultralisk. Well, the Diet Ultralisk, I'm not sure how that'll affect this here. Still very hard for Ultras to close the distance against entrenched Lurkers. 4 Banelings. Looking for the main base. Overseer coming as well. The Ravagers, not going to work out too well. The Banelings are rolling in. Oh no, the Parasitic Bomb could be devastating. And not even all... Oh god. Gonna kill the Vipers, but I think time to ask that eternal question. At what cost? The Queen's ping cushioning the Mutas. Part of this was Scarlett just trading out. Alright, Blinding Cloud. But the Lurkers slice through the Banelings as they roll in. The Ultras are doing their best to chew through the rest. Is there detection for the Lurkers? A lot of transfuse, keeping things alive. Parasitic Bomb from Scarlett. The Ultras running roughshod over everything they can see, but unfortunately that very much does not include Lurkers. And I think this is a key moment in the game right now. What does Scarlett do? She still has total map control, besides these 5 bases or so. But it's starting to get cost ineffective. Like, ridiculously and unsustainably so. How do you actually break the entrenched Lurker Spore army? Scarlett says Broodlords. Of course, with Vipers and Spores, you have opportunities there. But keeping the Ultra Bane... 2 Roaches made it out. Did Scarlett consume this hatch, or did it just take a lot of damage? Dark sees it. Dark has +3. It's actually gonna die. The 2 Roaches. How do you even find these opportunities? 2 Roaches kill it. Oh, but Parasitic Bomb! Oh, God. Well, here come the Ultras again. Looking for another opportunity. There's really not that much detection here. The Ultras kind of tripping over each other. Still fun and making a lot of progress with that diet upgrade. Or, well, I don't know. Downgrade, upgrade? Slim down? Ultra light. Well, they're not light, but lighter, you know. Overall, how many Lurkers have died? Dark has lost 4. Scarlett's only lost 3 Ultras. It feels like a lot more, but 22 Mutas. Scarlett rebuilding. A Baneling drop. I don't know if killing drones. Dark has been consuming most of his main. By the end of this, I wouldn't be surprised if he relocates his capital. to another base somewhere. Wow, look at that. I can't believe it's not butter. That is quite a spread there. Dark and lurkers. Name a more iconic combo. Dark and Nidus Swarmers, which we haven't seen. Dark and refusing to die for so long their opponent runs out of money. Well, here come 4 Hydras. What am I? Finley's do a lot of damage to the Hydras. Yeah, the Ultras just ain't doing it anymore. Scarlett is at... I've never seen 200 supply look so impotent. Scarlett kind of accepting. All the bases are getting consumed. Pretty sure the Vipers have been sipping on the Evo chambers over the right flank as well. The Muta's still looking for an opportunity. Those are +3 Mutas. So definitely dangerous to anything really but spores and Vipers. Dark is adding on to the Viper count. A dozen lurkers. Scarlett, if you can't beat them, I guess you join them. Before it's too late. Dark has clearly figured out what the late game should look like. 25 spores. More spores than minutes in the game so far. Vipers. Well, not Vipers. Hydras just... Okay, yeah, you're not... The Ultras... Scarlett is... Wow, Dark just built 12 more Ovies. Dark is not... Yeah, he was maxed out on Ovies. I think that's just for Overseers. The battery packs are getting consumed. Those Evo chambers explicitly for Viper consumption. They're earmarked. I don't know if Vipers have ears. And also, that's not really what it means. The Overseers... Well, oh my god. Oh, you know, at some point... Well, Dark brought the parasitic bombs home with him. That was a mess. That was a disgusting, filthy mess. I think Scarlett actually... the changelings running from the lurkers. I think Scarlett came out ahead. I'm selecting... Why am I selecting a Nidus? Whose Nidus is this? How did I get to... I don't even remember selecting it. Okay. They're Ultras. Scarlett is desperate to find a way to make these Ultras useful without just killing them or throwing them into lurkers. And a Nidus into the main might very well be that opportunity. Oh my Dark. Dark is so happy. He just sit here. This game could be 90 minutes long. Oh no, is it? The Mutas. Yeah, there's like 30 spores out there, yeah. The lurkers are moving. Scarlett only has 2 Vipers. Dark rebuilt up to 9 Vipers. So, in case you were looking for what the composition should be. What is that? That is Envision. Dark not reacting yet. Still, Scarlett threatening with the Vipers. Oh my god, the trades, the kidnapping. Comes out ahead here, I think, for Dark, but now there are Ultras in the main. That one lurker who's been hanging out in the main this whole time. A bunch of bruised Ultras. And the lurker will eventually clean this up. That other Ultra, well, I guess this was the best it was gonna do. Here we are. Didn't give him, we got the Hydra Den. Dark is just rebuilding the Hydra and Lurker Den. He's slowly... Oh my... Get over here! 12! Are you kidding me? 12 Vipers? Oh my god. So this will be 15 versus 9, but well, I don't know if those numbers will stay. But Dark found a way. He managed to get 2 lurkers out of the map. Scarlett has 9,000 minerals, 3,000 gas in the bank. So Scarlett is taking it. I mean, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And right now, Scarlett is essentially doing everything Dark is, but with more money and way later. So, a much more dramatic interpretation. There are now 15 Vipers. Are you kidding? What is this? What is this? Are you in? This can't be right. Like this is not how you play StarCraft. This is how you Dark over here with one lurker. The most annoying Dark's. I don't know how he does it, but he truly embodies the lurker. I feel like Dark shares at least some of his DNA with lurkers. Almost certainly. Where do you even get enough building HP for those Vipers to consume? Just let them build energy the old-fashioned way. Slowly. Now, Dark moving up to take this base. He's one base at a time. Get back here! Alright. It's one of the lurkers. Scarlett about to reveal her Viper count. Dark has yet... Well, actually there are changelings. I'm pretty sure Dark... No! Oh my god. This is so stressful. Okay, here we go. Yes, I do commentate StarCraft 2 professionally. Why do you ask? Give or take professionally. So, the Viper count. 12-5 in Scarlett's favor. I'm surprised we only saw one parasitic bomb near the end. The Zerglings sent out in every direction. The Scarlett... Do they even have upgrade? They have +1 melee and adrenal glands, which is still enough to easily deal with undefended bases. 8 more Vipers are on the way. Oh my god. Yanking in the lurkers, but uncreep, they just kind of walk right back out. Hydras and Vipers. Still Dark sending out units. The lurkers, well, this is a bit awkward. Lurkers doing a good job for both sides. But Dark, parasitic bombs! The Viper Wars! Their only way to attack each other. Wait, the parasitic bomb... Does parasitic bomb do friendly? I don't know if I've ever thought about the scenario of parasitic bomb doing... I don't think it does. I'm like 90% sure. I feels like I... No, it doesn't do friendly. But how do you tell whether it's your or your opponent's parasitic bomb? And that's the fun part, is you don't. You just... Well, what a maddening situation. Scarlett continues to have the bank. Dark does manage, I think, successfully now, to establish that northern base. Scarlett still has plenty of money in the bank, but Dark has not taken more than half a step back. Every fight has been a slow grind for Dark forward. He has lost 5,000 less minerals and gas, which is, well, explains the disparity here. We'll go into another fight. Scarlett building 9 more Ovies. It's a seller's market for overseers. This is one of the most ridiculous. And ZVC is usually pretty ridiculous, but not quite like this. Parasitic bomb all over the place right here, yanking out some of the lurkers. Dark gonna scamper away. Overall, Dark is building 13 more lurkers. That is quite a committed move. Dark is going to go up to 35. He's looking to break his own record from Against Innovation not too long ago. Another Nidus. This one getting sliced to pieces. Dark has lurkers wherever you need them. Dark, for the first time in like 15 minutes, is on the attack. Scarlett is maxed out with plenty of money in the bank. But Dark just jams himself right in between all the production in the hatcheries. Is Dark throwing, or is this a game-winning move? Parasitic bombs hitting some of the Vipers. Scarlett trying to regroup here. There's so many lurkers. There's not that much detection. But the detection... Actually, Scarlett doesn't have any detection here. Where are the Overseers? There's so many lurkers. It's 32 to 13. Yanking out a handful of lurkers. But there's not enough energy on these Vipers. Scarlett! The main base attempted a Nidus here, but it died him. What? And Scarlett just defeated with 10,000 minerals in the bank. Dark! It looks like we hit his enrage timer. That's what happened here. Dark's like, no. No, it's time. Builds 15 more lurkers and... I mean, we never really saw the Brood Lords. I don't even know. I don't know. It just kind of came down to Scarlett having less of the same stuff and just being a little bit behind on it. And that's game 1 to Dark. I swear I didn't know which way it went. I'm not surprised to see it went this way, but oh my god, Dark. He just understands these not particularly rare, but these end game checkmate situations when minerals and gas don't matter, and what truly matters is your mental stability, your lurker wrangling. Okay, I said it at the beginning. He's all about wrangling that late game, and so far the #1 wrangler is gonna be Dark. But game 2, best of 3. So we get more than one opportunity. I think if you're Scarlett, you don't sit back and macro. I think it's time to try something. As that, it is hard to watch. Was it time for music? Dark is so good at the late game. It's disgusting. That was a disgusting game to watch. I really wanted those ultras. I wanted to see the banelings crashing in. I want to see Dark get punished for his hubris. But is it hubris if you can back it up? I hate how comfortable Dark is with going. Like, Scarlett gave a few attempts to the ultras, the muta timing, poked and prodded. Dark's like, no! No! Build 16 spore crawlers and an Evo chamber wall. No! Come and get me. Well, nothing too untoward here. Well, Dark got gas a little bit earlier, but not significantly so. We're off to a standard, relatively macro start. Dark. Scarlett brings the second Ovi back. So this is indicating... This is suspicion here. That Overlord is in position to catch any early pool of Lings trying to sneak in. If you made that pool, well, before the hatch, you could get the Lings out before the first Ovi would spot them. And that does seem like something Dark would do, right? But not this game. Dark, sticking with the standard. Spawning pool right at the edge up here. I love that game. In the worst way, though. God, he's so annoying to play against. We've seen pretty much every player wash up against Fortress Dark and break on its walls, mentally and physically defeated. And so far, Scarlett added to the list. Can she turn it around? Pushing the Ovi away, the Zerglings being annoying. Dark making around to Lings pretty early on, only 21 drones. And taking the third. The third is the selling point. Actually, Scarlett didn't scout the third. The third is supposed to let Scarlett know that Dark is macroing. He's playing a macro game, which is a lie, by the way. But Scarlett didn't have that second OV at the third, so the little mind game here is going to be lost upon her. But is she lost overall is the question. There's a bunch of Zerglings running across the map. Scarlett, oh, but the Zerglings, they're body blocking Dark Jukes. Oh no, 2 Zerglings. They block the wall, and now there's nothing in the main. There's not even a queen building. It's a disaster for oh, not, well, this is the most appropriate way to fuck, yeah. Yeah, well, follows up with the quick jab, and Dark claims another. A disgustingly well-played series from Dark, trying to cap off his career, as he does have his obligatory military service soon, but he's playing so well, so hopefully we'll see him in the future. I'm saying like he's gone forever, but he's still playing, and he's still... The gloves are completely off, if they ever were on in the first place. Dark takes it 2-0 in dramatic fashion, showing how dynamic StarCraft 2 can be and how dynamic he is as a player. Not this time, Scarlett. Hard fought, but not hard enough. Thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better, and I hope you check out this video Jimmy put up there just for you. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.